week at Business at Breakfast, one of the members gets the opportunity to share with the group further insights into their business or enlighten the group a little bit more about themselves. The members can use the time to problem solve or seek assistance or advice from the group as a collective. The time is theirs to use however they would like. Today we have the lovely Margaret Lilburne as our speaker today. Margaret, you're down in Melbourne area?
Sydney.
Sydney, there you go, Sydney. That's all right. I knew it was a different time to me.
Close.
Yep, she's down in the Sydney area. Cold down there, I believe.
It is cold, yes.
Yeah. If it's cold with me in Chinchilla, then it's very cold down south with you guys. Melbourne's even colder. We're not even going to ask. So we are. So she's all the way from Sydney, Australia, and she's here to talk to us about, she's a longevity coach. So she believes in longevity and growing old without the illnesses. How long can you live anyway if you didn't have all the extra illnesses that seem to go along with it, depending on what you've done over the course of life? So with that, Margaret, I'm going to let you take it away. And you can tell us what you do. You've got up to 8 minutes. Kathy's going to set a timer. If you take 8 minutes, then I'm just going to sort of do this and the timer will go off. But if you take less than that, we'll just have more time to ask you questions. So with that, you take it away.
Well, that's a win-win. It's a win-win. Hello, everybody. I want to start by saying Misty Henkel is the most amazing sales trainer, because I don't like sales. I'm not good at sales. And so I'm so, and her approach has just been life-changing. Anyway, so my name is Margaret Lilburne. I am from Science of Longevity. I'm a longevity coach. I actually teach people how to be younger. And I haven't got my script. And I teach people to be younger. And I sell longevity diagnostics. It starts at $200, and the people I help don't want Alzheimer's. Now, the history of this is, and a very short history of this is, that I was actually a nurse in a hospital. And being a nurse in a hospital, it really had you see just what can happen when you get old. And I basically decided I didn't want that. So I put a lot of energy into doing research about the different processes of aging, what we can do about it, following the work like Aubrey de Grey, Elizabeth Blackburn had a Nobel Prize for her discovery of telomerase, and I was actually running a meetup group, and I was actually teaching people with my Science and Longevity meetup group what they can do about aging. But life has a way of really making you learn things. And at some stage, at one stage, I thought I could just have my longevity stuff, and I could take my nutraceuticals, and it would be okay. But then the universe gave me a curveball, and I had no choice but to actually go learn about diet, learn about the microbiome, learn about reprogramming my gut biome, and this other curveball that I had me go, okay, right, well, I need to really look at my water supply. So enter Mark Goulet, who's actually taught me about enagic. So now my Science of Longevity is actually basically teaching people how to be younger, based on the principles of Aubrey de Grey and David Sinclair and their work on NAD transmitters, which is actually, for those people who do not know, and I'm so sorry, but I love scientific words. So there's the precursors to nicotinamide riboside, which is all that David Sinclair talks about. Anyway, but sorry, so anyway, my program's going to be like dietary supplements, but at a very high level to attack the cellular level, the water, and anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. I've obviously stuffed this up, and I apologize. I'm talking too much.
You haven't. I just wrote to Kathy Weaver through Messenger. holy cow, Margaret's doing a great job. So it's good. Yeah, history is great. Look, it really comes down to this, Margaret, when you're learning to speak anyway. It's about your elevator pitch and the history stories of how did this come about. After that, the audience has questions anyway. You told us what you sell, longevity, and you do longevity coaching, and you gave us the histories of how this came about. You were a nurse, you saw all this aging stuff and didn't like the look of it. Nobody wants that. So you started looking into it, and you've run some groups and you help people in that space.
Yes.
It actually tells us why we would go to you to get this particular help. So your history stories told us what we need. From there, look, Lorraine has a question. People have questions. Lorraine, got your hand up?
Yeah, I just want to endorse Margaret's claim that she knows what she's talking about. I've actually purchased some of the tablets that she has in her arsenal of tools, and they've made a remarkable difference to me. I've got ADHD naturally, which I've been struggling with my entire life. Well, not struggling with, but it's difficult to pretend to be normal when you've got ADHD. The tools that I'm using from her, in addition to the health benefits I've had, have also significantly improved my ability to communicate with people at their normal level. And there's a ton more. It's improved my sleep. I could go on and on about it. I'm getting hair color back. They're remarkable tablets, and I fully endorse them.
So then it begs the question, what tablet is she talking about there, Margaret?
She's talking about the age pill. This is something I will never, ever, ever, ever go without.
Okay, and what's the brand of that? What company name is that?
Sizzle, Science, Innovation, Success, Energy, Longevity.
Right, this is for everybody. SISEL.
SISEL. I will put something in the chat about it. It is basically Sydney's best and / the world's best kept secret. Cutting edge, anti-aging technology. Not just this product either. I'm sorry, you put me on a soapbox now. And
no, but I'm going to ask you, right? Because I'm just going to cut you off. You've answered my question, so I'm going to cut you off. All right. How much does that cost?
It's about $100.
About $100. What's that, a month?
Well, it's actually $100 a month, yes.
Yeah, okay. So what you're saying is it costs about $100 to look after this thing every month. Okay, that's fair enough, right? Because it probably costs more than that. I say this to my boys all the time, right? There's only really two things that you have to pay for in life. There's only two things, right? This thing, you're going to cart it around forever. So it really comes down to how long do you want to live for? And do you want to have it as an easy thing to cart around or a hard thing to cart around? They say easy, great. It'll cost you more money, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
And the other thing that you pay for is that you should be keeping money aside to pay for is really this, catching up with the people that you meet along the way.
100%.
Because it's really easy to meet people along the way and then go, I wish I could catch up with you, but I don't have the time or I don't have the money to do it. So there's only two things, but this thing, you can't catch up with anyone if this thing's not working. So so there you go. So what you're saying though is for the age pill, it's kind of like cleaning your teeth. It's one of those things. It's like cleaning your teeth. You just do it every day and you don't have to worry as much, right?
Well, actually, when you take the age pill, the clarity that you feel, the anti-aging, like I've always had a really good recall for facts and figures, but with the age pill and the brain vitality as well, because I'm very much into brain health, arguably my ability to recall is actually increased.
Nice, excellent.
Right.
So Patricia, I see you've got your hand up.
Hi, Patricia.
Okay, hi.
Hi.
Thank you for your explanation. Two questions. Number one, of late, there have been many people with Alzheimer's, an increase, like drastic increase. I don't know over in your country, but here we notice it. Do you have an idea based on your research? What's the cause of that?
Okay, so Patricia, it's about actually recognizing what the signs are. When you wake up in the morning, for example, are you feeling sluggish? Are you feeling time's up? Oh, no. Are you feeling like, you have trouble thinking? Because you might be experiencing brain fog. See, it's early, it's just actually being aware of what the issues are. If I may illustrate, when someone gets sick, right? and then they experience the fuzzy headedness. That's because there's actually inflammation in the brain that's been added to by the cells. And so when you get better, that inflammation subsides. But when you get biologically older, what happens is that it doesn't subside, it stays in like a prime state. And so people experience this fuzzy thinking, and really it's a bit of a warning sign. It's actually a warning sign that, okay, right, well, I need to do something about inflammation here. I need to actually have a look at this. What am I taking? Is that answering your question?
No.
No,
My
it's not.
question is,
See,
why so many people lately?
yes.
It's like a pandemic of people with Alzheimer's.
Yes. Okay. So there's some causes, right? There's some really fundamental causes, and I'd really love to share this with you all. Diet soda has aspartame in it. Aspartame causes amyloid plaque in the brain. Amyloid plaque is definitely linked to Alzheimer's. So there's a whole lot of things that we can do to prevent it. And once you get it, it's a question of working out what is really going on. Will supplements help? Will neuroplasticity help? And you know, on a individual case basis. So so Patricia, please feel free to message me or connect with me, and let's actually discuss this further. It depends on the individual.
Yes, because I would like to do my own research because I'm also a healer. I can feel people and know what's going on.
Yeah.
I have a brother-in-law who has Alzheimer. When I feel him, the thing I get back is he's hypnotized, right? And I notice my sister, I have a friend, her husband also has Alzheimer. They're all very controlling women. So I wonder if that also has an effect. So I want to do my own research to see what's going on there.
Okay. Well, that's actually really interesting. I'd be interested to know more about that as well, but let's connect offline.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Patricia. Thanks, Margaret. Does that, yes, Susan, Susan Curtis. I've got to be careful. There's a few of us.
Margaret, I really appreciate what we were able to learn in this short time today. Thank you. A dear friend of mine just developed Alzheimer's very quickly, and her mother also had Alzheimer's. And I'm wondering whether you think that supplements or watching diet, such as it's interesting you said aspartame. We here in the States call it aspartame. So
right. Yeah.
Either way, do you think that one can overcome a genetic likelihood for Alzheimer's by making changes in your daily life?
Okay. As I am not a registered doctor, I unofficially,
just an opinion,
unofficially,
okay.
in my humble opinion, yes, I believe we can, but it's actually a holistic approach. It's actually looking at your diet. You see, part of this curveball that I was experiencing meant that I had to actually create this whole diet. I'm in the process of doing that to actually avoid this happening, and it can be used for chronic conditions. So the diet, once you actually know what the triggers are, yes, we can definitely address it. I've actually got subscription to this amazing publication and a lot of in-depth knowledge about Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, etc. And unfortunately, my own sister has Parkinson's, so I'm very much invested in finding out exactly what we can do about it. So I would actually encourage you, Susan, also to connect with me offline. Let's go into your
you already reached out to me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
No. Yeah.
Thank you.
And we shall. But yes, there are some basic things that we can do. And one thing that you may not realize is that we can regenerate brain cells at any age. And because I'm into longevity, I actually know that Misty will probably challenge me on this. Because I'm into longevity, it's actually not about what physical age you are, it's the age of yourselves, right? And what my focus is, what I'm passionate about, is improving the health span. And this is the period of time that we're in optimum physical and cognitive health, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
if I ever wake up in the morning and I'm feeling foggy, I think, okay, right, well, what's going on? Why? Right.
Mhm.
I actually happen to be without my beloved age pills at the moment, which I'm very sad about. Because I run out. But I just know how much added clarity it just makes a huge difference.
Fantastic. Yeah.
So I'll come back on here
Is
again.
there a
listing up
website?
my
Was there a
age
website for this pill to
Yes,
go look at
yeah,
it and see what the
yes.
ingredients are?
Yes, I will do that.
So I
Absolutely.
think Gerald's got his hand up, and I know Lewis does too, just so that you know. Actually, I'm a huge believer in we create a lot of drama all by ourselves. I know, because when I turned 30, I was determined to be sick so that people would pay attention to me, because nobody in my family wanted to help organize a birthday party for me. And I actually gave myself, it turned out, it came out as glandular fever. Now I know that I don't get sick because I refuse to. And I've lived with a person before who had glandular fever so bad, he was stuck in hospital for over 2 weeks. And yeah, I never got it. And this thing is really contagious. But as a result, I never got it back then because I didn't believe in it. But at this particular time in my life, I was determined to be sick so that people would pay attention to me. And I can tell you now, this is how much attention I got paid to me. In 8 weeks, my mum visited me once to just drop off some food and left. So it turned out I got sick for no reason. I still planned my own 30th birthday party. But hey, we can create drama all by ourselves. So yeah, I'm a big believer. A lot of it we do ourselves, but then there's other ways to prevent it holistically and with other things as well. So Gerald, you've got your hand up, and then I'll go to Lewis. So Gerald.
Margaret, thank you for your presentation. Apart from anecdotal
Yes.
evidence,
Yes.
what data is there? Have there been control groups? Because psychologically, I can take a tablet and feel better, but it's not the tablet. It can be it can be a placebo effect. So what control groups have been used in your research or other people's research, or is it only anecdotal?
No, it's actually not only anecdotal. I can actually provide you with evidence, hard evidence. I can. People who have actually had massive changes. I will provide that to you. Let's connect again. Let's go offline with that, because that's going to take a bit of time.
It's a longer conversation.
Thank you for your question. I appreciate it.
Excellent. Lewis, did you have your hand up before? And then I'll go to Heather. Yeah.
Margaret, thank you so much for such a great presentation. Much appreciated. Very clear. I'm in my mid-70s now.
Yes.
Though I look like I'm my 50s, I know I look like I'm 20. But except for my watch, I can lose 20 years just like this. See?
Oh.
Turkey neck?
Lewis, I'm going to say something. I'm going to be very brave here because Misty's been coaching me.
Yeah.
I am 59.
I didn't think you were a day over 18.
I am 59. And for those people, okay, and Mark's laughing his head off. Yes, Mark, okay, fine. Okay, so let me take this opportunity to invite everybody in this group to my 60th birthday party at Mark Goulet's house on the 4th of December in Brisbane.
I did have a question for you though, and that is, I was going down I'm just gonna see if you have experience with this. I occasionally look at a long list of what to do for Alzheimer's, and I write extensively and a lot of heavy intellectual stuff, but not so much right brain. And one of the things that popped up was jigsaw puzzles. So I went out and bought a jigsaw puzzle, which I have not opened yet. Do you know much about jigsaw puzzles as it relates to Alzheimer's and longevity?
Well, actually, Lewis, it's actually really important to actually keep your brain active. Keep on doing these exercises. Keep on keeping your brain active. Keep on keeping your brain active, absolutely.
Thank you.
All right. And Heather, you're the last one.
Yeah.
Heather, you're the last one.
Oh, really? No, we can keep going.
No, I'm watching the time.
That's okay.
You're up.
Okay.
Oh, that's okay. We can continue this. I'll just give you my Zoom and we're going to continue this. So I'll just
Margaret, just a really quick one. So I totally agree with you with all the supplementation and and how we can really improve our longevity. I just wanted to ask your thoughts on sleep and exercise as also part of the regime.
Oh, 100%, 100%. What a lot of people don't realize is that that when you eat, say, late at night, that you put a lot of the energy into digestion. The ideal time is to actually have your dinner early and allow digestion. And sleep is actually really, really important. You need 8 hours sleep. It's rejuvenation. Okay. So let's say, for example, right, and it's a very, very basic example. Say, for example, you cut your finger, right? And of course, it's circumstances as well and everything else. But say you didn't actually get your 8 hours sleep. It's possible that due to all the other things that the body has to do, that finger will not heal properly, right? Obviously, it's a very basic example. Whereas if so sleep is so important for rejuvenation, incredibly important.
Great. So now Jack's going to school next week, whether he likes it or not, because he had a toe operation, but thinks because it's the school holidays, he can stay up until 2 o'clock in the morning every day, and that he needs another week off because he can't put his shoe on. Actually, since he's created this drama all by himself due to lack of sleep, he can either sleep the rest of the weekend off or you just go to school with a sore toe. You've helped me out. Thank you so much, Margaret. And thank you, Heather.
Can I just say something else, please?
Yep.
I just want to say too that that actually my science longevity has been Sizzle for about 12 years or so. I've been amazed with Sizzle and then my diet and everything else, right? But then this curveball that I had back in January meant that Mark Goulet came into the picture and he offered me a solution for something, right, that I needed, and it became like a no-brainer. And now what I feel is now that the universe has given me the water, now I've attracted Lorraine into my life because Lorraine is going to help me create a whole science of longevity for the first time, marketing. And the water is going to be a huge part of it, because I tell you what, if you're not on magic water, it's been absolute life-changing. And I will say, no word of a lie, due to this curveball, my leg was so infected that without Mark Goulet's 2.5 hypochlorous acid, I actually don't know if I'd be around. It was that bad. So Mark Goulet is amazing. This group is amazing. Thank you for the guests for coming along. And you guys may not realize it, but that was a really, really, really big breakthrough for me to turn around and announce my age on.
Yes, it was. It took me 3 sessions to get that out of her. All right. Thank you so much, Margaret. Thank you, Margaret, for being our speaker today. Thank you, audience, for participating and being part of it as well.